Signal, it looks like. Okay, all right. It looks like we're going live now. Hello, welcome everyone to another installment of KloobySnack's Sunday night. I don't know where Abby is. Hopefully she joins us at any moment. She said earlier today that she was ready and looking forward to it, but I just pinged her and haven't heard from her. So the show must go on. I will carry the load myself if I have to. It's 8 o'clock straight up on the West Coast. That's 11 o'clock for Abby on the East Coast. And we're in the part of the semester, of course, where things are starting to heat up. The first assignments are due, first exams or tests, etc. Or a couple of weeks, heading into week 4 or 5 of semesters. So things are getting tight. But anyway, what we're doing here on KloobySnacks is this is a book full of my motivational quotes. I'm going to take some time to say this is like the 5th made for social media book that I've done. The previous ones were called Get a Clue in 52, whether it was like the coaching edition, Get a Clue in 52 for coaches, or Get a Clue in 52 for speakers, or the entrepreneur edition, or the original edition. It was just expanding self and business, just general categories. But they used to all have 5 categories. The 52 tips would be spread out across 5 categories. And heading into this year, I really wanted to see if I could popularize my motivational quotes, which I've always called KloobySnacks. Original KloobySnacks are my wife's homemade cookies, and then my motivational quotes caught up. Let's see, there's Charlie. Let's see. All right, Charlie maybe coming on. So so I went to my daughter Abby and I said, hey, I got over 100 KloobySnacks. Can you help me get down to 52 so I can have a book ready for 2025? This is the 6th year in a row that I've been streaming, doing a live stream once a week, and it's just it's something I'm proud of. It's consistency, right? So content is king, and we're in the AI world, and I just am a big fan of authentic intelligence. So coming on live once a week, reading a bite-sized, digestible tip, it's a good reason for me to send emails to my database and post on social media and try to stay relevant in people's feeds with the algorithms and try to put some content out there that might make a difference for someone. So here we are, KloobySnacks. Now, instead of 5 categories, one of the fun parts of the project was when we realized that 52 divided by 4 was 13, and 13 is baker's dozens. And the cooking theme that we've got for the book was actually Abby's idea. And it was really neat because this was a year ago when she was getting ready to, she was applying for schools. We knew that it was senior year. We knew that she'd be going somewhere this year. So the whole idea of like passing on the family recipe, before she goes off to college. And so whether it's, the actual recipe for KloobySnacks, which is in the book as the forward, or the wisdom that I'm trying to pass down to my daughter through thought leadership and the soft skills and the communication and whatever I have to give her. We wanted to give her as much as we could before she went off to college. And now she's in college. And it's kind of fun. We thought that this would be a built-in excuse or reason for me to spend time with her once a week that I might not be able to otherwise. So I have to be flexible with her busy schedule, her fatigue, her adjustments that she's making. School is the number one priority right now. So I hope she comes on and joins us. I have sent her a text message, but let me go ahead and move us along if I can. Let me see if there's all right. So let's see. Is she? Oh, she says the Wi-Fi isn't letting her join. Let me see if I can text her. All right. Well, she's trying. She's trying. Let's see what happens, if she can make it in or not. So let me go ahead and move along. So if you want to come in into the conversation and join, it's right there. tinyurl.com/KloobySnacks/38. I'm going to be here for another 26 minutes, going through it. But I'm going to review the KloobySnacks that we've covered. I was talking about 4 baker's dozens, right? So we started the year with loving flavored KloobySnacks. Then we moved to ego flavored KloobySnacks. And right now we are in the discipline flavored KloobySnacks section. And this is number 12 in this section tonight. It's number 38 overall. And so we're getting towards milestone. And, the next week is when we're going to close out this section. So Abby has written a journal style response to all of the snacks, but it's except 4. So the first 12 motivational quotes in each section, she wrote a response to, and then I close out each section with my thoughts, kind of wrapping things up. Here we go. All right. Abby, what's happening? I see you.
Hi. I'm in Ian's room.
Okay. All right. You made it. Well, how are you? How's your week?
I'm really good. My week has been good. My brightness is so low. My week has been good and busy. I honestly don't remember what I even did. Oh, my friend came this weekend. from San Diego because she goes to Penn State and she was like, I want to come to New York. So she came and stayed with me this weekend, which was really fun. And it was like fun, like having somebody like from San Diego here. So I don't know. We were talking about all the things that we missed, like the very like specific like restaurants we missed, or like very specific drives that we like missed, stuff like that. So it was nice.
Yeah, really, it's good. You've been able to see a couple of people from San Diego since you've moved there, yeah?
Yeah, and then also Jax bought his plane ticket to come here.
Oh yeah, he's just to visit you, or are there other things he want? Has he ever been to New York? Or,
he's never been to New York, but he wouldn't be coming if it wasn't from like me being here. So he's gonna come and stay with me for 2 days, and then because we have like a bunch of rules, so you can only stay for up to 2 days, and then he's gonna get a hotel. And I'm gonna go show him around the city because he's never been and he's always wanted to go. And also, I just love Jax. So,
no, it's gonna be great. That's wonderful. Yeah, I remember. You know, Uncle Harlan, of course, Auntie Nikki, and Uncle Harlan. Harlan and I went to junior high and high school together. And when I remember freshman year when he was down in San Diego, and I just have this. It's kind of vague, it's foggy memory, but I just remember walking on campus at San Diego State with Harlan. And then years later, we became, such close friends that, obviously we're family friends now. It's neat. It's neat when you're building everything new, but you still get these little ties to the familiarity, and it's good. It's good balance, and I can imagine the feel good there. So I was just introducing KloobySnacks and the whole premise. This is the 5th made for social media book that I've done, Get a Clue in 52. Although this one, it doesn't have the title Get a Clue in 52 because I'm trying to market and put KloobySnacks on the map. We're starting the KloobySnacks TikTok channel, so if you want to look for that, KloobySnacks or TikTok /KloobySnacks, just the way it's written, KLOOBY snacks. I think it's pretty easy to find it, but yeah, we're posting, some behind the scenes clips and reels from when we were in production on the book and brainstorming it and discussing the cover and some of those Zooms that we were doing with the book cover artist and the editor, last year at this time, actually, closer to December even, but also some flyby coaching videos. I think it's really neat that like I was doing flyby coaching videos in 2017, 2018, and so many KloobySnacks live in those flyby coaching videos. Yeah. That now they're here in the book, kind of codified a little bit further. So it's awesome. So we are in I was also explaining right before you came on board that this is the 12th snack of this section of the discipline flavored, which means the last one in this section that you respond to. Next week's snack, I wrote the snack and I wrote the response. Yeah. And so I don't know, maybe I'll have you read the response anyway next week, but we'll figure that out. We'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. But do you have anything to say before we do a review of the discipline flavored snacks before reading tonight? Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. If anybody wants to join in out there on social media land, if anybody's seeing this on a Sunday night, you have nothing better to do on a Sunday night, right? Then come on in and join the conversation. There's nothing better. tinyurl.com/KloobySnack38. All right. So here we go. So like I said, the discipline flavored section that we're in right now started with number 27, which was we judge ourselves by intent while we judge others by their actions, right? And vice versa is true on that. Other people judge themselves by intent. They're judging our actions. Number 28, the biggest problem with apology and forgiveness is the guilty verdict they both require. Heavy snack. Heavy on it. Heavy extra chocolate chips or whatever, extra ingredients in that snack. The road to mastery is paved with fundamentals. One of my favorites. It's like one of the original KloobySnacks of all time. The road to mastery is paved with fundamentals. I can't get through this one without saying it. I'm going to say it. We love putting the fun back in the fundamentals. Number 30, the only mistake to be afraid of is the mistake we don't learn from. If you're not committed to learning, be very afraid. Subtext there. And tonight, see this one, every job is an inside job. This is very relative to tonight's snack, in my opinion. They differ enough to be independent, but
I don't know what tonight's this is a surprise to me.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't have my own copy, so.
Oh, it's like I got to remember to do that. I'm guilty.
I was promised one for my birthday, which was like a week ago.
Yeah, well, your birthday's like every day. Every day is a celebration in your life. All right, yeah. No, guilty as charged. I got to get it to you. Number 32. Mm-hmm. If you want to be paid attention, pay it first. Can I tell you something right now? Can I pause here and tell you something? Yeah. That I think I told you this last week, that not this past week, but the week before, I had done a Vistage talk, right? Did I tell you? And then I'm getting to the point now where when I'm introducing myself.
You did. You told me it's on the call.
Yeah. So watch. Yeah. So guess what? So I did a Vistage talk, and it's getting to the point now where in my slides, when I'm, got a couple of credibility slides at the beginning, like for Forbes Coaches Council and professor at San Diego State University and all the podcasts that I've been on or what have you, right? I get to this one slide that has the 3 best sellers, the Integrity Game, Uncommitted, but KloobySnacks is in the middle. And I tell everybody like, hey, my motivational quotes to call them KloobySnacks. I wrote this book with my daughter, and you might hear some KloobySnacks today. And I brought some books to motivate you guys to be engaged and participate and raise your hands and ask questions. And let's go ahead and get started right now. Somebody pick a number between 1 and 52. So this is really funny. I think I told you last week that somebody said 32. And I said, wow, if you want to be paid attention, pay it first. Well, this quote set the tone, and it helped me keep these CEOs engaged. Yeah. And they were like, well, guess what? I did another Vistage talk last week on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Somebody pick a number between 1 and 52. Would you believe it, Abby? Somebody completely different group. Somebody picked 32. And I looked over at the chair, Miriam. My hats off, by the way, to Miriam Malik, who has become a mentor for me and has invited me in to speak at all of our groups. And it's just somebody I really appreciate. I joined her group, so I'm a Vistage member, a member of her group, in addition to being a speaker for several of her groups. And so I'm grateful for Miriam. But I looked at her and I'm like, that was the same. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, same thing. And we were, what are the chances, right? Out of 1 in 52. I don't know. I'm sure there's a number that we could put on it, but there you go. And this is the one that you rewrote, right? Out of my original, the original language, the original wordsmithing that I had this one, and you kind of reworded it a little bit and instead of arguing with you, this is the one that I'm like, okay, yeah, write it your way. Let's roll. You don't remember?
I know, because you bring this one up all the time.
Okay. All right. I'll move on now. All right. 33. Most babies live past the age of 5. Most businesses don't. Appreciate your open-mindedness to the business acumen that's waiting for you in your future. Nothing works unless we do. This is very similar to Inside Job, related to the Inside Job piece. And then 35, the only problem that cannot be solved is the one that does not exist. And that's like a sibling snack to this one. And the toughest problem you will ever solve is the one you could have prevented. Then last week, it got us to one of my favorite KloobySnacks of all time. Michael Phelps never won a gold medal swimming in somebody else's lane. I always get like a head nod or a head tilt or when I offer that snack. So are you ready? Drum roll, please, for tonight's snack. Well, hang on. Before we do, let me just acknowledge, because he's all the way from South Africa. Charlie, we see you. Do you have anything to say before we read tonight's KloobySnack?
Hi, Coach Jeff. Hello, Abby.
Hey.
Not really. We can move on. I'm still
okay. All right. Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. Okay. Here we go. All right. So let me go ahead and screen share. Let me put that up on the board. It is. Are you ready? Mindset is skill set. How about that? That is the snack. So I'm ready to read. Yep. Let's scroll past 37 here, and there we go. Mindset is skill set. Take it away, Abby.
Above any communication, sales, or marketing tool, our mindset is the strongest skill. How we mentally approach something determines the outcome of what we want to achieve. If we begin something with the mindset that it'll never get done, then it'll never get done. If we go into something telling ourselves that we're underqualified, then we won't bother putting our full effort into it. The way we view ourselves is reflected in the work we put out. You can have all the communication skills in the world, but a faulty mindset will take precedence over any other skills. Some people may be completely inexperienced in a field, yet their ambition is what carries them to the finish line. Those people will always succeed over someone who's both overqualified and underdetermined. Like the slow and steady tortoise who beat the hare, ambitious and driven is what wins the race. So of course I mentioned the tortoise.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you about this right here? Because this looks very dad or very
I'm assuming that when I was writing it, when I was like, oh, like, what would you like have to say about this? You like said, like, you said that. And then I was like, oh, and then you're like, right. Then like, it was like a write that down moment. And like, so in my notes for it, that was there.
So like, because like, is this me? Did I add this? Because you wouldn't have written this way, right? This is an addition that I put in?
I would have said overqualified, but not underdetermined. And I would not have capitalized the first part of it. I'm pretty sure that was you, and you requested that it be capitalized.
You agreed after I requested?
No, I did, clearly. Proof is in the pudding.
See, well, yeah, well, this. See how well we got along on this project and all of the mutual compromises we offered each other. Like, what a wonderful piece. But I do love the sentence, right? Those people will always succeed over someone who's both overqualified and underdetermined, right? So this is pretty cool. Now I've got a couple things I want to say. Mindset is skill set. I have a couple things I want to say about this snack, but let me ask you, Abby, what comes to mind for you now versus what you may remember about a year ago when we were working on the project?
I remember, well, because at this time I was doing all my college applications. Like I was not done yet. I was still doing my college apps. And I remember just like throughout the entire time, you were just like, you're going to get into every school you apply to. Like every school you're applying to, you're going to get into. And I'd get so annoyed because I was like, I'm not getting into probably half the schools I applied to. And now a year later, after just believing myself, got into all the schools I applied to. So that's all I think about, how it's like you're talking about like why would you like question, why would you spend so much of your time and effort and like mind space questioning these like what ifs and whatnots if it's not like something positive or whatever. And you'd always like, every time I was like freaking out, I was like, oh, like, I really hope I get in, but I feel like I'm not going to or whatever. You'd be like, well, you're going to. Like, why even like bother telling yourself that you're not? And I was like, you're right.
You were frustrated with me at first, right?
Yeah, well, I was getting annoyed because I was like, you're like,
too positive. You're too positive.
Yeah, I was like, when they were like, oh, like Syracuse's like school communications like 12% acceptance rate, and you're like, oh, well, you're gonna get in. And I was like, I was getting annoyed because I was like, no, I'm not. Like, stop. Like, I don't know. I was like, you're like, one, wrong, and two, just like boosting the ego, but I was like, this is too much. This is too out of you. And then, so I was getting annoyed at first, but then you just kept telling me like, you're like, why would you even bother like thinking about that stuff? Like when, whatever. So like,
tell me if this resonates, right? Like if we have a choice between thinking about what we don't want and what we do want, wouldn't it make sense to just think about what we do want?
Yeah.
You kind of like that, like you know, every second's going somewhere. It's we're either thinking about what we, because there's all this, there's a lot of success principles and a lot of quotes that are out there, like we become what we think about, right? And what we focus on grows, and you know, like you know, is even our bodies are like magnets, like there's energy and magnetism, and the way that, you know, energy vibrates, like we can literally attract or manifest, right? I'm not going to go off in the deep end right now tonight on that, but the idea is, you know, I've always believed that, you know, we become what we think about, and stinking thinking can creep up, and it's easy for me to coach other people because I have my own stinking thinking when it comes to my own achievements, right? Mm-hmm. And so sometimes people have to talk me into a different state of mind as well, like we talked about in the KloobySnack, surgeons don't operate on themselves. But yeah, it's just like I never allowed myself to believe that you weren't going to get into every single place that you wanted to go. And what ended up happening isn't that you got in literally every single school.
Yep.
Right. And so you know, like it's not, you know, we're not going to sit here and say, oh, well, just because dad had a positive mindset, you got into all the schools. You got into schools because you are who you are.
It's not. But like just like the whole, not exactly like the context specifically, but just the premise of what you were talking about like why would you even spend so much time and energy like put like energy into like this like negative space when it can be into something else. And every time I was like, okay, this is like annoying, but it's like in the end, like you were onto something.
Yeah. And so, you know, this cool. Well, let me ask if they're just open-ended, if there's anything else, you know, let me checking on Charlie here. Hey, Charlie, do you have anything now that we've read the snack? I'm trying to click unmute on the mic, but it just stays muted for some reason. Can't mute because they choose to mute themselves. Okay, never mind. Charlie, you can unmute yourself if you want. If you have anything to say now that we've read the snack and Abby's response to it before I start talking, because when I start talking, I could finish up the 11 minutes.
Also, can I say I have 5 minutes because I do not have access to my room, so I'm borrowing a room right now.
Oh, okay.
5 minutes left.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, do you have anything quick before so I can get my comments in that we can dismiss Abby then, Charlie? Anything that you want to respond? Mindset is skill set.
Yes, Coach Jeff, and hello, Abby.
Hi.
You know, it brings me to, I think it was Brian Tracy. I'm under correction. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can, you can't. You're also right. So it's which frame of mind do you approach anything in? If you believe that you can do something, just put in the work. You
Mhm.
know, it again, we come back to an inside job. So your mindset is very crucial with whatever you approach. Um, if you need to motivate yourself to do something, you don't really want it bad enough. You know, and I can go on and on and on, but since we press it for time as well,
Well,
I think that would be my little my few crumbs on the Klubi snack.
well, thank you. They're delicious, bite-sized and delicious, as promised here on Sunday Night KloobySnacks. Well, and thank you for that, Charlie. Listen, I do believe it was Henry Ford that has that quote: "Whether we believe we can, or believe we cannot, we're right." Um, Speakers, great speakers like Brian Tracy and myself, whatever. I'm not a Brian Tracy, but I'm on my way to being a great speaker. We all know the classic quotes, and we try to put our own take on it. And that's kind of what Klubi Snacks is all about, is universal truths, but wordsmithed a little bit, delivered with my flavor and my pizzazz and my humor and my satire or what have you. Now, here's what I love about what you offered, which Charlie, which ties into what I wanted to say tonight. Mindset is skill set, right? So when we talk about a skill, what we're talking about is something that we can get better at. Right. So when we talk about listening in a classroom, when I'm teaching on listening, we talk about the physiological nature of hearing. Right. We're all, like the sound waves come in, they rattle the drums. Right. The hearing. It's without artificial devices, Abby. This is an interesting example because Abby, you've got a hearing defect in one of the ears, so we use.
Oh,
hearing
and I've
aids
been
to
wearing my hearing
amplify.
aids every day. Don't play.
Yeah, but it's not like you could do like push-ups to improve your hearing or what you follow. Like, in other words, it's slightly different. Like when we talk about a skill set, listening is something that we can improve.
Yeah.
Right? We improve by the amount of attention we pay. We improve by learning how to ask questions. We improve by lengthening our fuse and relying on principles like not taking things personally and some of the things that we've talked about in KloobySnacks.
Yeah.
So the idea is a skill, an ability is something you have, but a skill is something that we can get better at. And so mindset is, right? I want to go just beyond what so many of us do know. Mindset is critical. It's important to have a good mindset. You can have all the tools, the skills, the relationships, the training, the preparation in the world, but if you can't build a mansion on top of quicksand, I like to say, as a Klubi snack, right? If your mind's not right, that's going to screw everything up, right? So, but now how do we get better then, right? And that's the one thing that I wanted to say without going too far into the deep end. I'm going to let you go soon here, Abby.
Yeah, they're about to be back.
It's something that we can get better at, and I just want everybody to know there's 3 things that we need to consciously manipulate, 3 things that we need to be aware of, and it's a good idea to have this like scripted out ahead of time. If we want to author our state of mind, if we want to get better at deciding what mood we want to be in at any moment and any time, we can. All we got to do is change 3 ingredients. It's very simple. If it's like the analogy is if we have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we need peanut butter, jelly, and bread. But if we change the ingredients to ham, cheese, and bread, we'd still have a sandwich, but it would be a different sandwich because we changed the ingredients. Same thing with our state of mind. Whatever mood we're in at any given time is like trapped in like a triangle, right, by 3 walls. Our mood, our state of mind is going to be locked in by 3 ingredients. One are the language choices that we use. Another are the beliefs that we focus on, which is what Charlie was talking about. If we believe time is money, we're going to move really fast. If we believe patience is a virtue, we're going to move slower. The truth is we could believe both, but not at the same time. We can only focus on one belief at a time, and all of our behavior is preceded by whatever belief we'll focus on. So most of us will always default to the belief that we've always believed, right? Or we'll default to, like we've talked about, Abby, like an ego defensive belief, right? That default. But what we want to do is we want to conscious, like, what do I want to feel right now? What would I need to believe in order to feel that? What would have to be true in order to feel this way? What language would I be using? And then what's the physiology? So if I want to be jovial, I'm going to change my face and change my posture, change what my arms are doing. I'm going to use jovial language, and I'm going to believe that life is fun, right? So in other words, like these 3 ingredients, what I'm doing with my body, what language choices I'm using, and what beliefs I choose to focus on will always determine what mood I'm in. And so when we talk about mindset as skill set, we can practice, we can script out, I want to be in a jovial mood. I want to be in a steadfast mood. I want to be in a compassionate mood. I want to be in a patient mood. So then you just manipulate the 3 ingredients I talked about, and you can actually practice and make it easy to get yourself into any mood you want to be in any time. I don't have more time to elaborate on that because I promised we'd get you out of there in the 5
Yeah.
minutes that we
Sorry,
talked
they're
about.
coming back. That's why.
And we're here now. So last call, Abby, last call. Mindset is skill set. It's something that we can get better at. It's like listening or so many other communication skills and soft skills. We can improve our soft skills, become strong leaders, build strong teams, be parts of strong organizations. Last call. Abby, do you have anything to say?
Oh, my friends are officially back.
Okay, fantastic. So that you got to go? All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I love you. Thank you for doing another installment of KloobySnacks. Thanks to your friends for letting you use their jam. And we'll see you next week. Be safe out there in New York City. And don't forget to write home every now and then.
Okay, bye. I love you.
Love you too. Good night. And that does it for another installment of KloobySnacks. We'll see everybody with the last snack in the discipline flavored section next week. It'll be number 39 overall. And then that's it. 14 weeks left in the year. I hope you're doing everything you can to make the rest of 2025 the best it can possibly be. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Charlie. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Coach Jeff.